All right, here we go. The principles of a pigeon pose. So we're starting standing. Let's go ahead and get Shelly down onto her knees, hands and knees. When you start, you want to make sure that the knees are directly under the hips and the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. And then go ahead and slide your right knee straight forward to your right hand. Good. And then you're going to take that right heel, cock it over the front so that the heel is in line with the hip bone. Good. Now straighten the left leg straight back. Perfect. Now she's got the left leg with the straight leg straight back. It doesn't flare out into a V shape, and the ankle isn't rotated in a funny position. It's straight back. Because she's pretty flexible, the right buttock is actually very close to the floor, and that's ideal. If you're not that flexible, I would rather that you had the buttock slightly elevated from the floor with a block or a blanket here. Lift your booty up a little bit. Tucked underneath, you can go ahead and settle down, so that you don't end up rolling over onto this buttock. You'll notice that her hip bones are straight forward, okay? From here, the lower spine stays at this exact angle. Don't arch the lower spine, but let the spine come along up through the heart. Rotate your shoulders back and lift your breastbone up towards the sky. Let your chin look up very slightly. Good. So here we have a very basic pigeon pose. Nice. And I'm going to take this block out because you have your flexibility. So go ahead and settle down some. Excellent. So we want to notice that this is anchored and this is expanding, coming up. Good. Now go ahead and fold down. So bring your elbows to the floor, right underneath your shoulders. And then everything flattens off and levels off. So let your neck be long, perfect, right there. And we take a couple breaths here. Just really letting that right hip and psoas open up. And then if you feel like you've got more flexibility and you want to come down further, we're going to stretch the left arm all the way out in front and take the right arm all the way around behind you. So this lets you, and then just let the forehead descend. Good. And then we take a few breaths here. And don't worry if you don't come down this far. She's pretty flexible in the hips. So, Shelly, go ahead and bring your hands underneath your head so you can show people who aren't quite as flexible that they can just cradle the forehead in the hands. Yep, perfect, just like that. Perfect. Very nice. And then to get out of this one, we're going to bring the hands to the floor. Good. Pop the hips up and just scoop that leg right at you. Good. Back to hands and knees. And let's go ahead and do the other side just for balance. So let's bring the left knee forward to the left hand. Let the left heel come across the front of the body. Good. Slide that right leg back. And remember, the right leg is straight. Don't let the toes turn in, okay? And don't let the leg fan out into a V shape. If you need to turn behind you and look, go ahead and turn behind you and look. The hips are level, so our hip bones are pointing straight forward, and then the lower spine stays anchored, the upper spine comes up to the sky, the shoulders roll back and down, and the chin looks up. Good. Very basic pigeon. We can advance it from here, but we don't need to. This will absolutely suffice. So let's go ahead and bring Shelly down onto her elbows. The elbows come right underneath the shoulders so that the spine flattens out. Drop the head so that it's neutral. Yep, perfect. Really just letting the hip open up. So you want to kind of let it melt open. If you're feeling tense or tight through the left glute or the left thigh, try not to hold on to that tension. Let it go, let it melt out. And then we can advance pose if we want by taking the left arm back and the right arm forward, forehead coming down to the floor. Good, nice. Always remembering that we breathe slowly so we give ourselves the opportunity to relax in the pose and also to bring as much oxygen and energy into the body as we can to flush out any of the toxins that we're removing through the systematic moving of the muscles, lengthening, contracting, twisting, wringing, etc. go ahead and get out of that one. Palms to the floor under the shoulders. Press your body up. Tuck the back toes, get the hips up out of the way, and scoop that front leg back, returning right back into hands and knees. And those are the principles of pigeon. Namaste.